Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. We are entering into a very active weather pattern as we have multiple storm systems traversing especially the southern and the eastern U.S., and we'll be breaking it down with the heavy rainfall and flooding prospects, as well as the heavy snow prospects with these storms, and we'll be looking ahead to the weather pattern over the next couple of weeks. Right now, what you are looking at here is the weather alerts, and in gray, those are dense fog advisories. This is the third or fourth consecutive day where we have actually had dense fog advisories this widespread across the country, and it's really centered around the Corn Belt here. And the reason for that is Mother Nature is hard at work in melting our snowpack here as we have the warmer and more moist conditions moving over top of our snowpack. So taking you back just 3 days from this morning, this is on Tuesday, January 23rd. Notice the deep snowpack here across portions of the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and interior New England. And just 3 days later into this morning on the 26th of January, we have melted several inches of our snowpack here, and we only have a few inches left on the ground from the Midwest into the Great Lakes and interior New England. And actually some areas that did see snow have a bare ground again. So definitely seeing some work done on our snow melt. And looking at the winds out there, here's the winds this morning, and you can see generally 5 miles per hour or less in these white colors and these lighter grays, and that is a perfect scenario for some dense fog in which to develop. You have the light winds here, we also have the low level moisture over top of that snowpack, and you have a cold surface because of that snowpack and the warm low levels just a few hundred feet above where we live. And so we definitely have a lot of these ingredients coming together for some dense fog this morning. So looking at the visibility with miles out here, you can see some very low visibility, especially across the Corn Belt there, half a mile or less in most instances this morning under those dense fog advisories. As we go into the afternoon, we'll burn a lot of this off, but we can still hang on to isolated pockets here, especially into northern Minnesota, the eastern Dakotas, and eastern Nebraska. And then a couple of pockets here or there across portions there of the Ohio Valley in the Midwest as we go into the afternoon of some dense fog. Going into tonight, we're cooling the atmosphere. We have the cold surface with the snowpack. We have the warmer levels just a few hundred feet above our heads, okay? And then we have some light winds as well, and that is going to create a perfect scenario again for some widespread dense fog. And I would assume that we'll have more dense fog advisories be issued by your local National Weather Service offices across the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Ohio Valley, and probably even the Central Plains as we go into tonight. If you are new to the channel and like detailed weather breakdowns across North America and the tropics upcoming, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below, and also helping me get to 75,000 subscribers by the end of February. It definitely would be helpful to do that. And then also press the like button down below. It helps out more than you know. Let's look here. We have what is called a Pacific jet extension, and what I mean by that, for late January and early February, we have a very powerful jet stream off the northeast Pacific Ocean, and that is going to be ushering in a lot of this eastern Pacific moisture into not only the West Coast and California, but also the southern United States across portions of the Four Corners region, Texas, the southeast, and on up the East Coast with time, especially as we turn into early February. So let's look at our current weather conditions out the door this morning, and you can see we have some scattered showers across the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and then some mixed precipitation here across New England. Other than that, pretty quiet across the country this morning. But just taking you back 3 days of rainfall here, we've had a lot of rain across the deep south, in particular East Texas, southern Arkansas, Louisiana, into southern and central Mississippi. A lot of these areas saw well north of 3 inches worth of rain, and even some heavier rains up here into portions of the Illinois Valley and the lower Ohio Valley, just going back 3 days in time. And you can see the U.S. Drought Monitor that was released yesterday on Thursday, January 25th. We did some work on improving the drought here, but the data actually ended on Tuesday, and a lot of the data that ended on Tuesday Once it ended, we still saw rain Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, Wednesday, and even here on Thursday. So that is definitely going to have some significant improvements on the next drought monitor that will be released next Thursday. So definitely looking forward to that. But looking at the precipitation today, we do have a couple of areas of interest here across the country. The Pacific Northwest seeing some rainfall here and some snow in the higher elevations, especially Washington State, Oregon, and far northern California. Another pocket of precip down here today across portions of the Texas Panhandle, northwest Texas, and southwestern portions of Oklahoma. Mainly rain with this, and then some heavier rains down across southern portions of Louisiana and Mississippi. Some thunderstorm activity here, some scattered showers across portions of northern Illinois getting into southern Wisconsin, and then a mix of precipitation with maybe all wet snow up here into portions of Maine, northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York, and even parts of southeastern Canada through the day today. As we go into tonight, that system will move off to the east, the system that's up here into the northeast. We're going to say hello to a new system across the deep south as we go through tonight. More heavy rain across this very area that's been inundated by some very heavy rain in the past few days, and we'll continue to see that as we go into your Saturday time frame as that storm system and associated moisture starts to lift further to the north and east by the weekend time frame. So looking at the total precipitation in inches now through your Sunday morning on January 28th, notice another swath here of about 1 to 3 inches worth of rain from Virginia down through the western Carolinas here into Tennessee, much of North Georgia getting into Alabama, Mississippi, down into Louisiana here and into Arkansas. Very widespread area here of about 1 to 3 inches worth of rain going into this weekend, and this is cause for concern. We already have saturated soils down here. We're going to add on more additional rain, 1 to 3 inches on top of the saturated soil. So now through your Saturday morning time frame, we're going to be seeing that marginal to slight risk for flash flooding across portions there of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and into Georgia there. And then that will shift up into portions of the Tennessee Valley and the Mid-Atlantic as we go into your Saturday and Sunday time frame. Now let's look at that. As we go into Sunday, we're going to have that low pressure system that's down across the deep south and the Gulf Coast on Friday into Saturday. That will move northeastbound and into portions of the North Carolina and Virginia coast by Sunday afternoon. This is likely a 1,003 millibar low. As we go into Sunday night, quickly deepening to a 997 millibar low. And now it doesn't seem like it deepens that much, but it really does. Over a 12-hour period, you're going from 1,003 millibars to 997. And it's going to be pulling in some colder air here. So here's your high temperatures across the northeast U.S. on Sunday afternoon. Notice most of us are at or above freezing here and likely into the middle and upper 30s and even some 40s down here across the Delmarva region on Sunday afternoon. And you can see where it's all rain, our temperatures are going to be middle to upper 30s, if not low 40s during the day on Sunday. That includes southern New Jersey, Long Island, and New York City, back down through Delaware here into Maryland and even southeastern Pennsylvania during this period. The colder temperatures right around freezing, 31, 32, 33 degrees or so, will be across northern and northeastern Pennsylvania and northern portions there of New Jersey, southern New York State, and this is going to support some heavier wet snow and maybe some mixed precipitation with some sleet and some graupel out there as well. And then as we go into Sunday night, we're going to start to cool our temperatures. Now this isn't a deep Arctic air mass, okay? We're seeing temperatures in the upper 20s and lower 30s, just marginally cold enough for some wet snowflakes out there and a 10-to-1 ratio snow. So you can start to see that changeover across the New York City area, Hartford and Boston, and even down into Maryland. We start to see some of that. Maybe Washington, D.C. gets some snow. Philadelphia and northern New Jersey, very close there in the Trenton region for some snow as we go into Sunday night. Looking at the swath of snow, it's a narrow swath as we go through that Sunday night into Monday time frame, but a potent swath of snow. We could be seeing a few to several inches of accumulation here, just enough to get those shovels and possibly those snow blowers out across portions of Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, southern New York, very close to the New York City area. A little wobble in the track here means a difference between an inch of snow or 5 inches worth of snow. Same thing up here toward Boston. A little wobble south will be less snow. A little wobble to the north will be more snow for you. So that is key with this storm system. Now, as we go into next work week and enter into the first few days of February, we're going to have a high pressure system parked over southern and central Canada. This is going to be mild temperatures and drier conditions across this region. That trough this weekend will continue to move off away from North America, and we're going to say hello to a new storm system and associated trough that will be moving into the West Coast during the next work week time frame. And what this is going to do is initially we're going to see some very mild temperatures for early February standards. Temperatures will be 20, even 30, possibly 35 degrees above the norm for early February up here, especially across portions of Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario, Canada, but also up here into the northern plains, upper Midwest, and Great Lakes region as well. The only game in town with below normal temperatures will be the southeast coast, especially down into central and southern Florida, where we could be 10 to 20 degrees below normal for early February. So let's look here at a precipitation during this time frame. Starting off the work week pretty good out here. We got some dry weather for the most part, maybe some lighter rain showers and drizzle up here across northern and central Minnesota on Monday. Otherwise, 99% of the country is pretty much dry on Monday. As we go into midweek, this is Wednesday, the last day of the month on the 31st of January. Very dry, very quiet here, high pressure and control across the central and eastern 2/3 of the country. But we say hello to our new storm out west across Washington State, Oregon, into northwest California. Very heavy rains coming in with that Pacific jet extension, with that storm system. And that's going to just pump in tons of moisture Wednesday, Thursday, Friday timeframe, and likely beyond in towards next weekend. And this not all is going to be rain. This could be some heavier snow out here across the Rockies, the Four Corners region as well. So definitely seeing that. Looking at the precipitation amounts potentially between Monday, January 29th and Saturday, February 3rd, notice it's very dry across the eastern 2/3 of the country and southern Canada with the influence of that high pressure ridge. Remember, you have a lot of sinking air, so a lot of dry time and milder temperatures. You have cooler air and unsettled weather with that Pacific jet extension bringing in all of that Pacific moisture. We have some heavier rain setting up near the West Coast, down through the Seattle region, Portland into Sacramento, Fresno, Los Angeles, San Diego, Phoenix, a lot of these areas, Las Vegas seeing some very heavy rains. And looking at that, this could be coming in waves. We could have a 1 to 3 inch amounts through next Saturday and beyond. We could have even more rainfall. So definitely seeing a lot of rainfall through that time frame. And this is just taking you through February 3rd. You can see total snowfall out west. Very nice snow across the Rockies and the Four Corners region. That includes Nevada, and very nice snowfall for the watershed out west across the Sierras here, as we could be seeing a couple of feet of snow between that Monday, January 29th and Saturday, February 3rd timeframe. So some good times ahead for the ski resorts out west, that is for sure, and we'll keep you updated on the weather all across the country moving forward. Well, if you like the detailed weather breakdowns, consider subscribing to the channel down below. We will keep you covered right here on the weather forecast accurately each and every day. Make sure to press the like button down below and also share this video with friends, family, and on social media, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Friday out there.